remember who is listening, who is the one who makes choices, and what a choice would mean. Another interesting way of learning how to dance in life would be to take the opposite viewpoint deliberately. So I'm going to speak about this next topic, which can help us to get rid of the attachment and the superficial grasp of our beliefs, identifications. And this method was suggested by Ouspensky. I already mentioned sometimes about him. This great Russian esotericist, a disciple of Gurdjieff. He recommended, he said, it would be very good for some of you to deliberately argue against what you hold to be right and true and good. So deliberately argue against what you hold to be right and true and good. Try to take the opposite standpoint deliberately at times and see what happens to you. So see what happens to you. Play with yourself, with this personality. He said that sometimes the result was to make you doubt your own opinions, your own yes, and realize that there are other points of view to which you cannot say no, or others, in other words, you cannot integrate in your vision. So that approach may be also an interesting approach, and just denying it or refusing it or suppressing it, as we used to do, may not be the solution. So once at a meeting, he assumed the position of a man who was going to argue about everything that was said in the spiritual practice that was taught there, they name it the work. This practice of awareness was there, also an important element. And he started maintaining that it is not true. Many people in that meeting were startled and shocked. Actually, Ouspensky confused only those people who had never really contemplated for themselves on these ideas and teachings involved in that spiritual work recommended there. It was a challenge only for those people who were taken those teachings in a kind of dogmatic or religious way, writing them in the notebooks or trying to remember them in their mind in a kind of mechanical way, without inquiring themselves, without allowing them to touch and stabilize them in their heart. So the effect on those who had done the practice of self-awareness and on those who already developed a steady presence was totally different. So even though he was just coming there and denying all that he used to say before, those people were not disturbed. Why? Because they were centered.